Saturday, October 2nd. I didn't sleep very well. I went to bed late. Purposefully late. Because I was trying to finish my notes. But what else got my attention? What was I doing? Sometimes I get so distracted. I get so distracted. So I remember I was going and I was dancing, listening to music, trying to notes. I was doing something else. But anyways, I ended up staying really late, and by late I mean after 12. And I think a big part of it too, I was being nostalgic. still really well. Okay, so I was preparing the next because that's one of the reasons why I was starting to prepare the video. I haven't had a chance to really prepare all of them and post a big bunch, so I've only been doing one per day for the following morning. So that's what's happened the last 2 nights. So I was staying up yesterday to look at the video for the following morning, and it's me talking about the 3 situations. I think I talked about it. I don't remember if I recorded on it. So one of those situations was what I talked about yesterday, of that loved one. I think I recorded on it. So anyway, that was a funny coincidence that I had that dream yesterday. And in the video that I'm preparing, I'm talking about one of the situations. But anyways, so there was that. I also stayed up because I was reminiscing. That's what it was. I was reminiscing. I was listening to songs from a year ago and just remembering where I was, because like I mentioned before, I was in it. And I haven't watched the old videos, but I was listening to the music, and that's where I was getting stuck. But at the same time, I wasn't stuck. I was focusing on the good times. I was really focusing on the good memories and how I felt with certain people and the connection and when we would laugh, and that's what I was focusing on. So I was really enjoying reminiscing, really enjoying looking back, right? And just seeing how far I've come, and you know, the days that I was more comfortable with, just the progression of me feeling more comfortable in my own skin, you know? And yeah. So that's what I was doing last night. It's just reminiscing. And some of the songs. There's one song that I'm trying to find. I don't remember what it was called. Someone dedicated it to me, I think. And I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called. And I'm trying to find it. It's an old 70s, 80s song. And I know if I hear it, I'll be like, that's it. That's it. But I can't remember what it's called, and I deleted those messages, so I don't. But anyways, so I was just listening to some of these old Spanish rock songs, Spanish songs, and then other types of songs that bring back memories. So it's just really being present in the past, remembering good times. And so in that process, I was actually reflecting back on the birth chart, my birth chart. And I found the old email that I received from Miss Christina. And I thought, you know what? Finances are becoming more consistent. Let me do a birth chart. I looked at her website, and I can do one of the returning clients. and for a 30-minute session, it's like $65. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And then I thought, okay, when, right? As I've been mentioning, I wanted to do I do want to do my Akashic Records reading, but I'll get to that point as I continue to build up my finances. But I thought about like, well, let me do a birth chart reading class, or not that class, but have her do my reading again, just to see, right? Just to see the changes. And I have questions to ask her about, one, does she know anybody who she trusts who does a good Akashic Records reading? And if she teaches classes on birth charts, because I'm learning a few things, and I liked the way she did it. And if not, would she consider teaching me, and for how much? I've decided to sign up for MJ's Chiron class as well, because so with Miss Christina, so I looked at I looked at my email, and it has the date of the chart. She actually put a visual of the chart there, and I didn't realize it. So I have a visual of the chart, and it was November 10th of last year. So I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if it was around the same date? So I'm looking at her website, and I can schedule the date. Closest date that's available is November 11th. 11/11. How can I pass that up, right? So I signed up for that, and I'm like, okay, that gives me a little over a month to do my own birth chart, with what I know, and then kind of see, how she presents it, and just kind of compare and contrast, right? And stuff. So anyways, I and then hopefully by then I'll finish this freaking class that I signed up for, and I'm still not done with. But I wanted to sign up for MJ's Chiron class because it focuses on healing. I was able to start doing a birth chart with one of my clients, and I was very methodical about, like, who, if the opportunity came up, who that would look like. And this particular client, I assessed their religious and spiritual beliefs, right? So it's not something that I'm imposing. I'm looking to see whose beliefs are similar to how this information could be presented. So I found someone in my group of clients, and I asked questions and assessed just where they were at with their beliefs, and it aligns. It totally aligns with the premise, right, of this tool. And so I put it out there, and we're at the end of treatment. So I put it out there, and I was just like, what are your thoughts about exploring this potential tool as just a tool? And whatever value you give to it is up to you. It may or may not resonate, but the little bit that I've shared with other people, they have found it helpful. And this person was open. So I said, okay. So I'm like, I'm not going to do like the whole thing. And then I let them know where I was at in terms of my learning level. And but it was a great experience in that the information that I presented focused on the healing portion of it, right? And the learning portion of it. And then having that dialogue with her and encouraging her to look at what does not resonate. What does resonate and what does not resonate, because that's what I'm trying to figure out. My suspicion, right, because of my own chart, was that the stuff that didn't resonate, it was because it was either stuff that I needed to work on embracing in this lifetime, like a blockage, and that I had not yet embraced fully. Like Gemini, for example. I don't think I shared that actually. So my sun sign is Gemini. They're very talkative. And I know Miss Christina last fall said, yeah, you're very talkative sign. And I said yes, but in reality I wasn't. And I've shared before, I was very silent growing up. My mom was worried about me because I didn't speak. And when I did, it was, yeah, like the pleasing stuff, like yes mom, no mom, whatever she wanted me to do, I did. And then I didn't make friends. It was hard for me to make friends. I wasn't very social elementary school. And if it weren't for her knowing other moms with kids my age, and me moving to a smaller school setting, and my sister being a very social butterfly and blah blah blah, like talkative like crazy, and me watching her like a hawk, like how is it that she's making friends, right? And just watching, like I just remember most of my childhood was me watching. And so I wasn't talkative, even though I'm a Gemini. Then through this process, right, I'm learning that that was a major blockage for me, something I needed to work on healing, right, from all the visions, blah blah blah, speaking up, speaking my truth, defending myself, whatever it may be. So I encouraged her, pay attention to the stuff that does not resonate, and she did. And then it was like it was tying up, like it was just it was really cool how it was tying up. And I didn't share the whole chart, we didn't have time to go over the whole thing, but it got me thinking about just little elements, the book, right, how it's communicating, not really using more of the book as a baseline, but really using other sources to cross-reference and then communicate in a more neutral way, if you will. And at the same time, helping them find connections with the path that they're already on, right? And then being more mindful, like I'm documenting like what I stress, what I emphasize. Don't forget to continue to emphasize this every time that I present this information, right, to someone else. But then I started thinking, where in the course of treatment would this be appropriate, right? Like in this particular case, we're at the end, we're at maintenance of having gone through some of, and it was very short. This was a short, brief counseling. So, but in essence, the adjustment period was over. We're getting ready to titrate out. So this was like a good way to kind of, a good entry point. Because it then made me think, I'm like, okay, there's this possible worry of, I have to keep learning these life lessons. It's not going to get easy. I was like, it's not that it's going to get hard. It's just that your soul wants you to learn this, right? If we're believing this, right, tool in that format, it's that your higher self is wanting you to learn these skills, so that you can be more aligned as you move forward. And just being mindful, right, that your soul will not give you, that your soul will give you what you are needing. So if you look at it through that perspective, your soul will give you what you are needing. And just accepting that, right? Because there's a level of a choice, right? To accept it or not. Not is resistance, right? Accepting it is, okay, let me work with this energy, right? Let me see how this takes me. And learning to listen to your intuition, and learning to navigate and reading the signs, right? And if things keep, closing your door, it's because that's a sign. Like if things get harder or things become stagnant, right, it's a sign. It's a sign to move on. So I started thinking about kids. Like, why would this be appropriate for kids? And I'm doing birth charts for my nieces and nephews, my little ones, for their mom, really. It's more for their mom. So not for the kids. But then me realizing, that it may be helpful for them to have that as a way for the parents to understand their child's characteristics, and in essence remove the sense of blame from the child, right? Because a lot of parents are like, it's, like there's this my child is broken mentality, right, of seeking services. And it really isn't. It's just, this is who your child is. And so then it provides this way for parents to understand that their child's characteristics is something that was given to them, right? And not so much that it's something that they're doing to go against the parent, or and it helps the parent in essence regain I'm reading what I wrote, a sense of control over how they may help their child embrace certain energies, right? And then also for the young parent to help, like, do a chart for the parent as well, because there's going to be this interaction, right? Of how to work together. And so the parent also has to be aware of their own wounds, right? If this child triggers wounds within them, because we're all reflections of each other, that need healing for the purpose of them helping guide their child. And then helping them heal, right? And then I put for young adults, after their first emotional challenge, it might be helpful to introduce this at the end of their first emotional challenge when they've been successful in overcoming it, to help them prepare for the rest of their plan with an emphasis of the importance of them already having overcome this first challenge, right? Because if they feel that sense of accomplishment, like, hey, I did get over that, then whatever other future challenge they're currently in that emotional state of mind, of like an emotional state of being, that I accomplished that challenge. You're right, I can do this. And so their optimism, their viewpoint of these future challenges will be then more, they'll be more receptive. They'll be more open to looking at it as a life lesson versus the world is against me, or I did something wrong, you know? Because then that kind of takes them down this other rabbit hole. And then I thought of myself, right? Middle adult and older adults, because I have clients who are older adults. And unfortunately, I'm not using this with them because of their own religious beliefs. I'm respecting that, right? This is about them. But, you know, for older adults who believe this world, or who are learning to embrace it, you know, and then I think about, you know, my dad. I'm helping him with this too. And it's provided a sense of purpose for the healing, for the wounds that he's experienced, right? So it addresses that midlife and end of life crisis, if you will, of feeling stuck or unfulfilled. And it may or may, then I started, who else would this be helpful for? It may be helpful for those who are continuously hit emotionally over and over and over again through a retrograde, right? Who are wanting answers as to why they are experiencing these things. Like, why does it feel like people keep leaving me? Why, you know, kind of stuck in this pattern of whys and not knowing. And then I just put, you know, things to pay attention to. How they learn. So using the third house a lot with how they learn to help them feel, gain a level of understanding of how to continue to move forward, learning these lessons. And then emphasizing the Chiron. So back to the initial point, I'm signing up for MJ's Chiron class. So I signed up for another birth chart, follow-up birth chart reading, and hopefully from there I'll get more connections to a trusted Akashic record source. I'm signing up for MJ's Chiron class. I'm hoping to complete the birth chart class, do my birth chart before I meet with Miss Christina on 11/11. The other great news is that my cousin posted something on Instagram about not a contest, but it's where's the little thing? A submission, a literary magazine about money, working class, and they're accepting submissions through the end of the month. And it's poetry, prose, and visual art submissions that correspond to the themes of work, money, and or class, to the specific magazine, ProLit magazine, so I could send up to 5 poems, and then I have to do a brief third-person bio. So I'm gonna submit my poem, the first poem that I was inspired to write when I got here, and that's another reason why I stayed up late last night, because I was looking over my poem, doing just editing, and you know, getting the acentos right, the accents, because it's a bilingual poem. There's Spanish words, and so doing the translation piece of it as well, and just making sure it's edited, or edited, right? I'm editing. the draft that I have, so I can submit that. So I'm excited. About that, and yeah. So I stayed up last night working on that, and then just reminiscing, and so I didn't really dream. I think I did dream, but I was in and out of sleep, and I had played the music on, and so so yeah, so that's what happened. That's what happened last night. Yeah, that's all. Just want to share an update on that. So, all right, next time. Bye. Hi. My name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience, and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me. So